Tuesday the 2nd of October. We're here at the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre in Dover. One of the biggest maritime rescue exercises is about to begin. It's going to involve 500 people from international agencies, many helicopters and many boats of different sizes in a coordinated rescue throughout the day. The Guardex exercise takes place off the Kent coast, north of the English Channel. It is coordinated by the Maritime Coast Guard Agency in Dover. The London Array wind farm is located in the Thames estuary and at 175 turbines is the world's largest offshore wind farm. It covers an area of 100 square kilometres. The cruise liner Patricia, transiting close to the wind farm, is about to lose power and collide with the Wind Ambition, an accommodation vessel housing service engineers. The Patricia will then go on to hit one of the farm turbines. There will be fires on board, casualties, and people missing overboard. The exercise will require the establishment of a survival landing point at the port of Ramsgate, as well as a survival reception centre at Margate.
We've been in collision with another vessel and lost steering. Request assistance. 51 degrees, 39.
A Wind Ambition, this is Dover Coast Guard. Do you require any assistance? Over.
We have been collided with the unknown vessel and we have now coming a lot of fire alarms from lower deck. We have been collided with unknown vessel and coming a lot of fire alarms from lower decks, deck 1.
Fire deck 1.
There is fire on board on deck 1 in provision storerooms area. Fire doors are partly closed and fire groups are cooling the area. We have also flooding, we're taking in water in main engine compartment. For your safety, we start evacuation of the ship. Don't use elevators. All passengers please dress warm and proceed to the nearest assembly station on deck 7 outside.
Task some lifeboats to stand by.
Yeah, we need Ramsgate, Margate. Request the assistance of Calais lifeboats and Dunkirk lifeboats. 8 persons in the water. Okay.
We require firefighters as the fire is quite complicated. Location, deck 1 downstairs and possible casualties.
Since the first emergency call was received here at the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre, the pace of events has escalated rapidly. Calls have been coming in regarding the state of vessels involved, how many vessels, how many people have been in the water, the state of casualties, fires have been reported, and now the centre is coordinating as many of the different agencies that they can to deal with all these various problems. It's a very hectic activity, as you can see.
Okay, situation for exercise Guardex. The Wind Ambition hotel ship, which is anchored in the northern part of the London Array wind farm, has been struck by the passenger vessel, also known as the Trinity House vessel Patricia. The Trinity House vessel Patricia is holed and taking water and has a fire on board. There are 61 persons on board. 8 persons are reported missing. On board the Wind Ambition, there are 119 persons. The Wind Ambition also has a fire on board and is requesting offshore firefighting assistance.
61 persons on board.
We are declaring a major incident and will be requesting the assistance of the offshore firefighting team.
Down below, the search and rescue phase has been coordinated, while up here in the Silver Cell control room, the follow-up to all of those actions is being coordinated.
This Silver or Tactical Command Group has been called together on the basis of a major maritime emergency that's been declared by the rescue centre at Dover. Assets on behalf of all the units that are flying. We also have
request air assistance to a vessel called the Wind Ambition, which is a hotel ship for the London Array Wind Farm, and the Trinity House vessel Patricia. They've been in collision.
The mission, the Patricia, has drifted off from the position and is now currently anchored after colliding with a wind farm turbine. 8 persons fell into the water at the time of the collision.
Right. Do we know the wind turbine number? I need to find out if there's anyone at the top of that. Can you ring the London Array, see if there's anyone on that?
Sprinkler section.
Sprinkler system. Is that out of order in section?
Section 1, because pipe works in storeroom.
What deck? Is that all decks?
Deck number 1. So the fire broke out. Our fire teams assembled. We collect people.
Nemo 05, if you could proceed then with this casualty to QE/QM in Margate, over.
Roger, that's no problem. We are pushing up to Margate.
7.
Yeah, and he wants to evacuate all his passengers.
Okay.
I've told Tony, but he keeps coming back on. He really is getting a bit panicky.
Patricia wants to get all packs off.
We're here at the Ramsgate Survivor Landing Point. This is where the casualties are first brought ashore and then assessed for the injuries that they might have.
Keep filtering. You come to me.
Okay, this band here, keep it on, do not move it. Okay, I'm going to lead you this way.
Right, your wet change. What I need you to do is the clear bag with the black tie. Go into this tent here, take everything off, place it all in the clear bag. Seal the clear bag. Inside you'll find another robing pack. Take that into the following tent and re-robe. Everything you need is there.
Straight through. Gentlemen and the ladies, the ambulance officers in the yellow and the orange tent.
We're here at the Ramsgate Survivor Landing Point. This is where the casualties are first brought ashore. Those who are considered significantly injured are taken into the orange tent, where they will be rapidly assessed and then taken by ambulance to hospital. Those who aren't injured will be taken and decontaminated if that is required, and then taken to the survivor reception centre.
So what was the injury? They're cold, freezing cold, that's it. You're just freezing cold? Excellent. Do you know how to work one of these? Yeah. Foil blanket. I'm going to hand that to you.
This is the Survivor Reception Centre in Margate, the final destination for the casualties. Is there a good number? This is the Survivor Rescue Centre. This is the final point on the Survivor destination. They come here to be identified. They first arrive and they're given a refreshing cup of tea. They then proceed to the middle of the hall where their details are checked and their identification is finally clarified. Once that is done, they then move through and are given a hot meal. Tony, you were one of the watch managers here today during Guardex. The last time we were here, the exercise was in full swing, the helicopters were arriving. Can you just take us through to the end of the exercise? What happened? We saw the Silver Cell meet for the first time, and then it just seemed to be taking off. Communications all over.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we were faced with a scenario of multiple casualties in 3 different locations. We had 2 vessels, both with fire on board, with injuries on board, and a number of people that need to be evacuated. We also had 1 casualty who has suffered a crush injury on the top of one of the wind turbines. So we had a large spread of casualties. We had resources of 3 air assets, a UK, a French and a Belgian helicopter, that were used primarily to ferry fire brigade personnel from France and from the UK out to the 2 vessels with fire. We also had medical teams on board to assess the injuries, and from that stage we evacuated the casualties on a priority basis, whilst the fire brigade helped to stabilise the situation on board the 2 vessels. We also had a situation of people in the water, so we had search plans and other surface vessels carrying out searches to locate the casualties that had entered the water. We successfully managed to evacuate all personnel and accounted for them. It's always one problem in a large situation like this to keep a tally when we're actually taking personnel to the vessels and evacuating. But eventually, after some confusion at some points, we accounted for everybody, and we terminated the exercise around 1500 UTC with everybody accounted for, and returned either by air or by sea back to Ramsgate or to the local hospital.
There was a lot of lessons learned. We held a hot debrief up there this afternoon with the strategic, and I asked for 4 things that went well and 4 things that went wrong, and they gave me them pretty quickly. And now they're going to go away back to their day jobs and have a serious think and compile a debrief for me.
At the end of the day, everybody was rescued?
Everybody was rescued.
All of the equipment returned home, all the helicopters were safe?
Absolutely, yeah.
And you're ready to do it again?
And we're ready to rock and roll for next year.
Thank you, Spike.
You're welcome.